Hello bros and welcome to Aspect Zero BroFive production and the next part of Sakura Fantasy Chapter 1 Fantasy. So we'll see what Gwyn does in the bathhouse. Start the corner right here. Gwyn. She's lying on some kind of stone slab, her chest pressed up against it. There's not a single shred of cloth covering her at all. All of her pale skin is shown. I can see small streams of water coming from her flowing golden hair. Enchanted lights hang from the ceiling, radiating warmth which can visibly see shimmering in the air. I had no idea that it was such an elaborate setup inside those baths. Gwen shifts slightly like she's uncomfortable. The moment is enough to make her body quake a little bit. She turns her head to the right. This is a bit hot for my liking actually. Could you please turn it on? A few seconds later the lights of the crystal dim a bit. She smiles in approval. Perfect, thank you. Gwen doesn't seem out of place with any of these sophisticated treatments. She's perfectly content in bask in the warm glow of those absurd, expensive-looking crystals. She happily turns over, exposing her other side to the crystals. There isn't a single part of her that she doesn't allow the crystal warm light to touch. Steam rises from her body, obscuring my view of her slightly. She stretches herself out, laying her body bare before the crystals. The entire eternity seems to pass as she looks up at the ceiling. A small sight of pure contentment passes through her lips. This is my heaven. The whole world outside doesn't matter right now. Just me, myself, and I. She turns back over, allowing her eyes to close as she leans forward onto her chest. I don't think she could be happy at the moment if she wanted to be. Being her really does fill her with joy. It's like I'm air drift on the ocean of warmth. She shifts herself slightly, trying to move her lower body beneath the cluster of crystals. Once she's happy, she turns around again to face the ceiling. Now that's more like it. There's no better way to dry yourself off. From the side of the stone slab, she grabs what looks like a ball of clay. They say this is great for your skin. I suppose I will only find out if I try it. She takes the clay and begins to rub it on herself. It must be like silk, so soft. She leaves no part uncovered as she works her way down her body. Clay on her chest, her thighs, everything. I hope my skin becomes as soft as this clay. Not even the hottest forges in the capital could match the heat coming from my burning face. This is so embarrassing. Gwen's not stopping either. She's going to keep going until she's covered herself truly in it. This is too much for me. I'm going to clear this vision from my head. I'm just going to have to hope that no one noticed how furiously I'm blushing. As I come back to the council chamber, the repetitive drone of their voices begin to drill itself into my head. Are you suggesting that the fallen star has some significant meaning? It is but mere anomaly, nothing which should influence our business today. We cannot deny the unrest has caused to. The city is worse state of panic than it's ever been in a long time. What course of action do you suggest we take in order to stifle this panic? More guards patrolling the streets, we have ensure law and order. Downsayers ought to be arrested on sight though. 2. We can have them fear mongering. But we barely have enough soldiers as it is. We may have to dip further into our reserves of novices. As much as I doubt their help, I'm afraid we have no choice. All in favor of promoting more novices. All councilmen voices their agreement with the plan. Then we have settled the matter. As I summary promote more novices, arrest downsayers and put more souls on the streets. Even though his face is covered with his helmet, I can tell what my fellow guardsman is thinking. Leaning over it, he whispers to me again. Welcome to week 2. It only gets worse from here. You go mad if you listen to them for too long. I could see you're learning not to listen to it though. In fact, you nearly fell asleep there. I nearly collapsed while farseeing. I better be more careful with it in the future. I know it's hard, but just stay awake for a bit longer. They usually conclude their business within an hour. I can't put up with this. We just need to put up with it. You make a fair point. It's useless to complain. Moving on another important matter now. Have we had any news from scouting parties we sent into the Myers? None. They're definitely dead by now. I see. Yeah, then there is nothing to be discussed here. How could they be so cold? Those soldiers are dead due to their poor decisions making. Perhaps life is cheap when you make it to the top. This brings me back to my previous point last week. Are you still all opposed to the idea that these beasts are intelligent? We have already debated this. The dead scouting parties do not mean the beasts are intelligent. We need proof and evidence before we can act. The next time we are willing to take a risk, we should devise a means of testing them. So send more people to the depths. The dead can't tell us anything, Councilman. Perhaps we can find someone with a gift which enables them to speak to the dead. Well, that's probably very unlikely, but I have the gift of foreseeing. I can see beyond the enemy lines and see if they actually have any intellect. Would such a gift even exist? Even so, how could we find someone with a gift so specific? It would be foolish to waste our time and resources looking for such a gift. I suggest we drop this discussion for now. It's not going to yield anything useful. Agreed, we must focus on time on more important subjects. The walls have been dealing with increased attacks since the star fell. The impact must have agitated the wildlife. It's so expected. It agitated the city too. Nothing to worry too much about. The frequency of attacks should die down after a few weeks. I must voice my agreement. There's not action to be taken in regard to this. That is no action which we should be taking anyway. We are already driving for more recruitment and more bodies to defend the walls. As they continue to debate among themselves, I hear footsteps behind me. Soft-footed. They could belong to another armored guardsman. Wait, she's the noblewoman from before. What is she doing here? Greetings, Empress. We are surprised that you have joined us again. Have you matters you wish to speak about? Empress? The Empress herself? That's who she is. I spoke to the Empress directly and I didn't even know. I am here to put forward a request, Councilman. Something about her has changed. When I look at her face, I don't see the helpless look of loss. A star fell from the heavens. What of it? There was light, there was no noise, then there was nothing. I'm sorry, my Empress, but we do not see what the star matters at all. The emotionless mask Adina wears, it's breaking. She's really agitated. I can't help but fidget as I watch her. The star. It's about the star, isn't it? What does the star mean to you, Ardina? Why won't you talk about it? The star does matter, Councilman. I could mean everything for us as a people. Could you explain why or provide any proof for that claim? Another question. What do you even want to do about that star? A request for a group of warriors to seek out where the star landed. Deathly silence permits her through the chamber. All of the councilmen simply look at her. What are you requesting is absolutely foolish. I agree, that star landed somewhere out in the mires, perhaps beyond it. And you asking us to send a group of our best in there to die? You haven't even explained what is important about this. Not a single voice in the chamber offers any support for Ardina's request. I can tell she's trying to restrain her emotions, but it's starting to show. I just overheard that you had sent scout parties into the mires. How exactly is my request unreasonable? We debated for weeks before we decided to send them. And now they're all dead. Anyone else we send would meet the same fate. Ardina, has your old age finally gotten to you? We understand if that's why you no longer participate in debate, you mind. Before she can finish, I feel the council chamber rumbling. Where did that come from? I rub my eyes and look again. It's coming from Ardina. That empty, vacant look is completely gone from her face. It's replaced with seething anger. Ghostly ethereal light pours from her, filling the entire chamber. It runs around her in an aurora, crackling with overworldly power. Her power is actually causing the very building to shake around her. How is this possible? Before, I thought she didn't express emotions at all. Cowering in their seats, the councilmen tried to shield their eyes from the light. No one dares to say a word to the enraged Empress, simply staring at her in no way. The main speaker of the council, backs off from her, step by step. Empress, what has possessed you? Emperor, please stop this. You're going to tear this chamber apart. Among the chaos I can clearly hear Adina. Her voice is powerful yet quivering with emotion. It drowns out all other voices. It's as if the entire world has gone silent just to hear what she has to say. First, you openly deny your Empress. Then you have to gall to accuse me of being unfit to take the interest in the affairs of my own empire. Every single one of my requests through the last decade have been openly denied by all of you. They openly denied her for this long? She really was just a figure ahead then. But this time you will not deny anything. I'm the Empress, and this time I remind you of your place. I'm older than all of you combined. I have seen 1,000 battles, 1,000,000 deaths, and I know more loss than you could ever hope to imagine. So do not even dare to suggest that I am unfit to be your leader, that I am not of sound mind. Not one of you, for all of your age experience, could ever understand what the star means. The speaker tries his best to calm her down. Empress, please calm down. Just tell us what the star means so we can understand. We did not mean any harm by the statement either. We were just concerned for me, or are you simply concerned with not having your way this time? I tire of your sweet lies. I would rather toss with more honest thoughts speak for a change. So I will make this clear. This is not a request like all of those times. This is a command from your Empress. Find me a group of warriors willing to brave the Mayas, the best group you can spare. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking for a new group of councilmen. You have all grown complacent with your positions. Remember that I'm your Empress for eternity. After that, her light fades and she returns to her normal appearance. She's nearly burned my eyes out with that. Finished with her speech, Adina turns her back on the council. She takes a moment to look at me before she is gone again. Didn't I just see the Empress of the Legends? The one who glowed with light and banished the darkness with her footsteps. When I looked back to the council, all of them looked terrified. Well, do we have any further items we need to discuss? How exactly do you think we should respond to the Empress' insistence? I think it would be best to her out. Best to her. I think it would best to her out this one time. Hear her out this time. Oh, it's a little weird. Although I'm normally the voice of the consistence in this room, that's understandable. We all agree that the Empress on the Emperor's proposal. Is that right? All the voices of their agreement. Do we have any other outstanding business that we must deal with right now? No one says a thing. Says a thing. I think it would be best to adjourn this meeting for now then. Is everyone in favor? Once again, the decision agreement upon with no opposition. You didn't see her any here. You didn't see or hear any of this. Understood, guardsman? I can only vaguely nod my head. It's enough to make him go away. Dumbfounded, it just stand there for a moment, taking in what I had just witnessed. My fellow guardsman must be in a way too, because he's not moving either. Damn, I never seen that happen before. I guess this was the lucky day. The council chambers will never be existing again. Be this exciting again. Does this really count as lucky? She could have caused this chamber to collapse on us. Perhaps. It would have been better to have that happen though. Rather than listen to these politicians keep talking. I can't help but just shake my head at him. Does he really hate being here that much? I've been here a long time, and that's the first time I've seen anything like this. Things are going to change very soon. It's about the time that happened. What's even better is that we are off duty now. I don't know about you, but I'm out of here. Sure enough, he's gone in an instant. I'm too busy taking in what I saw to really care though. Everything though the council has adjourned its meeting for today, I still have guard duty. I better get to patrol in the hallways then. 1, 2, 3, and I save here. Well, the story at least taking a change now. So now we can actually start to see what actually the story is about. But I bet we won't meet the end of the story in this gameplay though. Because it's probably the chapter 2, everything really important gonna happen. Maybe even it will be chapter 3. I don't know how many yet. The creator of these novels hasn't really said anything about it. And well, so hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. BroFive!